Once, they couldn't understand me. I speak Southern English. I couldn't understand them because of what they spoke. So it was very easy. You didn't have to worry about it. What I like about this, nobody made you get up this morning, get shower, get dressed, go to worship. Come on, we got to get out the door. We're going to worship. Let's go. Come on. You guys drove yourselves. Volunteered to come worship. If we don't get nothing else out of tonight, that is awesome. I wish we had that moment. If I cry, it's because I'm very emotional about when I talk about something that's important to me. And I don't mean to blubber and say, oh, your daddy's a big sissy, but that's how I am. I don't show that much. You can ask my wife later. Don't ask her too much. A couple of things tonight is don't put your faith in anything that might fail. Anything man-made. Most men. But anything man-made. Our God is from everlasting to everlasting. Way before we started, I was born in 71, and I know some of you, 71, that's way back before that, and after I'm gone, he'll be around. I'm looking out there, and I'm envious of some of this, but what if I told you tonight, whatever you come up in here tonight with, you'll drive it forever. You'll keep it forever. Some of you would be really, really happy. Man, I love that car. That's awesome. Some of you are thinking, man, I want a pair of Mom's mini. I want that forever. Some of you may have walked over here. Some of you tennis shoes till you're gone. That's probably not going to happen. The first car I had, my first car was a '66 Mustang. It didn't last long. But I had one. I got pictures. The first car I had that lasted any amount of time was a '74 Plymouth Duster. Some of you may not have even heard of it. This thing was like Hershey bar brown with a 1-inch white stripe all the way down both sides. The coolest part of the car when I got it was it had a snakeskin top. Snakeskin. And that was pretty cool. That's the only thing I kept in the car. After I went through my first banknote, and got it painted, and some wheels on it, I had something I wasn't completely ashamed of. I was 16, and it would fly. Man, it was the stories I could tell, but don't do that. Whatever you want. It was the correct thing to do. Don't do it. But it turned into something that I treasured, and mainly because of the memories that I created with that thing with my dad and my granddad. We would just ride around, talking, doing guy things that we shouldn't do again, gentlemen. It's tempting, I know. But I can't go out today and buy a brand new Plymouth and do that with my son. Because Plymouth did not stand the test of time. They don't make it anymore. It's gone. That nameplate is gone. I'm going to have to refer to my notes a little bit because my scriptures are on here as well. But because they were man-made, they didn't hold up. Even if I had it today, it probably wouldn't think well. I mean, it wouldn't look anything like it did when I had it. Matthew 6, 19 and 21 tells us about storing up true treasures. It's Matthew 6, 19 and 21. Do not lay up treasures. Do not lay up for yourself treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And we're also told in 1 Timothy 6, 17 through 19, as for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, nor to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. They are to do good, to be rich in good works, to be generous and ready to share, thus storing up treasure for themselves as a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of that which is truly life. So as much as I liked that old Plymouth, after we got done with it, I was getting ready to move to Nashville from rural West Tennessee. You know anything about West Tennessee, it's mostly bottomland, lots of flats and just water meat. But that thing was not going to stand the test of time coming back and forth to Nashville every weekend. Just wasn't going to do it. No faith in it. Because I knew what it was. It's not going to last. Wouldn't let it go. Get something that was going to be a little better for the long haul. Hindsight, I probably would have made it, but you get the point. It's not, the car was not going to do it. Well, Mann's come up with a lot of cool inventions. We got cars. I love cars. Television, telephone. Everyone has got a gadget in your pocket right now. Got a telephone that's somewhere. But you get me started on cars, and I could be up here all night. I love to tinker. I love to set, lean on, watch, drive. That's my thing. Anything with a motor that makes noise and will pull me around, I love it. But that's my thing. But I also know they break down because they're man-made. They're not going to stand the test of time. Mr. Jerry's got a bunch of Mustangs out here, and if he's like mine, like me, he knows it's sooner or later he's going to be walking if he drives those old cars. I don't care how much time you baby him, it's going to fail to leave you stranded. That's just how it is. Psalm 103, 15 through 17 tells us about something that is truly reliable. Something that will never leave us stranded or without hope. As for man, his days are like grass. He flourishes like a flower of the field. For the wind passes over it, and it is gone. And its place knows it no more. But the steadfast love of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting on those who fear him, and his righteousness on children's children. A lot of you were raised up in the church, and you can look back and you can see his love in your grandparents, and your parents, working now through you and your friends, willing through your children, through your grandchildren. And that's what that's talking about. His love is everlasting, from beginning to end. But us, we're like cars. We're not going to be on this earth forever. But God's love is everlasting. Everlasting. It's never ending. Hebrews 13:5. God said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. That means forever. Ever, ever. Verse 8 says Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That means he's not going to change. But his love for you will never change, nor stop, no matter what. He's always there. Open arms, ready for us. Anytime we're ready. He was in the beginning. John 1 through 4 tells us, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. These things that they're referencing are not the Mustangs and the Dusters of the world. They're the world, the earth, the universe, nature. And I've never heard of a new and improved cow, a new and improved pig, or the new and improved duck river. They were right the first time. They were made right the first time because God made them. He doesn't need a second chance. I think he's got this. Pretty sure. God will be there when we are done. Revelations 1:8. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, says the Lord God, who is, and who was, and who is to come, the Almighty. There's no doubt He's going to be there. Now, God has outlasted all other gods. The second one's with a little g. An idol, if you will. The story of God proving that Baal is not the true God is found in 1 Kings 18, starting in verse 20. And I'm going to paraphrase quite a bit of this in Dave's feet. It follows. Baal was a god that the people of Israel worshipped after they took the promised land. Now, this is after they've been told, don't worship the idols of those people whose lands you're about to take. Don't do it. They didn't listen. They didn't obey. They believed Baal to be a god that provided crops and children, a fertility god. So the prophets of Baal, about 450 men, and Elijah, a prophet of God, square off in a battle to see whose God is the real deal. Who's going to win? Who's true? Elijah suggests that they take 2 bulls and sacrifice them in 2 different piles of wood. They will each pray to their God, and the one that answers by fire is the real God. Now, this is all taking place in the middle of the 3-year drought. You think it was dry a couple of weeks ago? Just imagine 3 years of no rain. And it's almost be hard to start a fire in those circumstances. The prophets of Baal went first. They prayed from morning till noon, but there was no fire. So Elijah said to them, maybe you should shout louder. Maybe Baal's in the restroom. Maybe he's on a trip. Maybe he's asleep. He needs to be woken up. So the prophets of Baal shouted louder, cut themselves, trying to get Baal's attention, but still no answer. That's part of the way they worshipped, was self-mutilation and sacrifice. They did this until it was time for the evening sacrifice. And even with all the blood and the shouting from the prophets of Baal, he did not answer because he couldn't, because he ain't real. A man-made God, an idol, doesn't exist. And Elijah called everybody over to his side. He took 12 stones, 1 stone to represent each tribe of Israel, and built an altar in the name of the Lord. He put the wood on the altar. He dug a trench all around the altar, and he laid his bull on the wood. And he had the people pour 4 jugs of water on the burnt offering 3 times. I don't know how big a jug it is. I don't know if it was 5-gallon bucket, 55 gallon drum, but I figure it's a lot of water because it filled up the trench. Everything was soaked. I'm going to actually read the rest of the story, 36 through 39. And it comes to pass, at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, and I am your servant, and that I have done all these things in your word. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that you are the Lord God, and that you have turned their hearts back to you again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and it licked up the water that was in the trench. Now when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. That's... I'm not sure how much more you need. He didn't taunt them at that point and say, hey, boo-boo, look what my God did. The people knew that there was the proof. The drought that they were in was brought about because of idol worship. Now, Ahab, the king at the time, knew who Elijah was, knew he was a prophet of God, knew why the drought was happening. He had been told this is happening because of your idol worship. He could have stopped at any time I don't know that we're told why he didn't. Why he continued the idol worship. He was the king. He could have had these people do anything he wanted to do, but he continued in the idol worship. And we have tendencies today to do the same thing. Now, we don't drive over here to the Temple of Ra, to the Temple of Baal and worship. But we do in this world, we'll chase a dollar, we'll chase our heart. If we're not careful, then it becomes an idol. You get up in the morning, you'll go to work, and you won't stop till it's time to drop. And there's no time for anything else. Technology, like I mentioned earlier, everybody in here's got a gadget. Hopefully every gadget in here has that Bible app. I don't have my gadget with me, but mine does. I'm not saying I study it like I should, but we have access to it 24/7, and there's no reason why we can't. For some people, food is an idol. They work till meal break, and they snack in between, and anything that gets between you and God, anything that gets between you and true worship, can be an idol if you're not careful. You spend your whole being thinking, studying on that, it'd be a problem. I've heard it said, I wish I'd have written this down when I saw it, that if you want to be an expert in this subject, you should read about it for an hour a day. 1 hour. A challenge to us. Let's become experts in the Word of God. It takes an hour a day. You don't have to sit down for an hour at a time. 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Before you know it, you've got an hour every day to go. You may have to take some time away from your games, away from your Facebook. An hour a day, you can be experts in the Word of God. That's pretty powerful. We could have this garage full 20 times over in a short little while. Little Plymouth I told you about, she ain't on the road no more. The man that bought it for me was going to show some kids how to drive through water. They were all sitting at the top of the hill, and the bottom was flooded. So he eases that across the bottom. And the next thing you know, he's out in the middle of the bean field, sitting on the hood of the car, waiting for the guy in traffic to come get him. Granddaddy's okay. He got out. They pulled the car to the house. And overnight, it was cold. Overnight, the bell housing was full of water. Had the transmission froze and busted. They sold it for scrap a few weeks later. There was nothing else to do with it. Again, because it was man-made, it's not going to last. God's promise, God's love for us, always there. It's always open. All we have to do is believe in His Son, Jesus, confess our sins, and be baptized. If you haven't done that, we encourage you to do that. We would love to study more with you. I think, as you can tell, I'm still learning. I'd be more than happy to sit down with you and go over anything you want to go over with. If I don't know the answers, I know some guys that do. We'll get an answer. But if you want to be part of that everlasting,